Justin Bieber, the musical phenomenon who went from being a child prodigy to one of the biggest pop stars in the world, at first glance with a story that seems straight out of a modern fairy tale. The boy from YouTube reached global stardom. From record-breaking hits like Baby and Sorry to a private life full of controversies, Justin grew up under the spotlight while dealing with addictions, dangerous friendships, and decisions that left the world perplexed. In this video, we will explore the price of success that Justin had to pay. A journey into the unknown and the forbidden, where fame and fortune come with a price not everyone is willing to pay. A childhood not so pretty. The duty of being a star. Justin Bieber's childhood began as a story of hope amid adversity. He was born in a small town in Canada, Stratford, where life was neither easy nor glamorous. Justin grew up witnessing his mother's sacrifices, and from a very young age, he found refuge in music, a refuge that would become a trench. Sometimes, he would stand on the streets of Stratford with his guitar in hand, playing for passers-by. It wasn't just for the money. It was because in those moments, he felt he could be free. But then the unexpected happened. His mother started uploading videos of him singing on YouTube, something that would change his life forever. What began as a simple attempt to share his talent with family and friends turned into a phenomenon. And this is where the fairy tale takes a twist. A talent scout found him. At barely 13 years old, Justin left the life he knew to move to the United States and chase success. But the question was always there. Was he truly ready for such a radical change? At first glance, it seemed like the dream opportunity. Fame, success, and the adoration of millions. What many saw as a fairy tale for him was the beginning of a life full of bright lights, but also shadows that would haunt him forever. His childhood might have prepared him for the fight, but nothing prepared him for the price of fame. A teenager out of control. As Justin grew up, his life offstage began making more headlines than his music. Wild parties, drugs, and dangerous friendships. He was no longer the sweet boy with an angelic voice. He was becoming someone darker, someone few truly knew. His lifestyle was out of control. In 2014, he was arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol and drugs. Justin, surrounded by friends and a crowd of followers, decided to take a spin in a yellow Lamborghini. For him, it was a way to clear his mind, to forget the cameras and the criticism. But what began as a ride ended in a police chase. Speeding through the streets of Miami, the public image of young Bieber was breaking. Many said he could no longer escape his own demons. This arrest was the proof many were waiting for to confirm what they feared. Justin Bieber was lost in the maze of his own excesses. But that was just the beginning of his troubles with the law. Later, in Toronto, he was arrested again, this time for an altercation with a limousine driver. Cameras captured Justin at the moment of his arrest, surrounded by police as he tried to stay composed. As if that weren't enough, in Los Angeles, Justin faced vandalism charges after throwing eggs at a neighbor's house. What could have been a bad joke turned into a scandal that revealed his lack of boundaries. The media reveled in images of Justin, an artist who, instead of being on stage, was now appearing in court. Each arrest seemed to push him a bit further into a dark place, a path where fame and money no longer meant anything. For some, Justin Bieber was just a lost kid, someone who never had the chance to be normal. For others, he was the perfect example of how fame destroys those who are not prepared for it. Behind the scenes, something was fracturing within him. Slowly, Justin began to show unpredictable behavior that left everyone perplexed. At first, they were small incidents. He would walk out of interviews without explanation, leave questions unanswered, and became increasingly evasive with the media. But that was just the beginning. Over time, his temper began to flare up in increasingly public and chaotic situations. On one occasion, a fan excitedly approached him to greet him, but instead of an autograph or a smile, Justin pushed him away brusquely, leaving everyone in shock. The press and fans wondered if that charismatic and kind young man had disappeared forever. And it didn't stop there. Soon he became a magnet for controversies. Wherever he went, drama followed, and the list of incidents grew. There were fights with photographers on the streets, yelling and threats in public. He even smashed paparazzi cameras trying to capture his moments. Now, Justin Bieber's name was synonymous with trouble. Each headline was more shocking than the last. The media speculated, fans worried, and he seemed increasingly isolated, trapped in a spiral of self-destructive behaviors that no one could understand. What no one knew was that behind every outburst of anger and every defiant look, Justin was hiding a deep wound, a shadow that had followed him since his early years of fame. A shadow that carried the name of someone he trusted, and who had broken that trust in the most devastating way possible. A meeting of terror. The story of how Justin Bieber and P. Diddy crossed paths has an almost mythical air, as if two opposing worlds collided in a predestined moment. For Justin, fame had arrived so quickly that he could barely understand what it meant. In the entertainment world, everyone wanted something from him, but few truly understood him. When Diddy heard about this young prodigy, he was intrigued. He wasn't just another boy with a good voice. He was a phenomenon, someone who could have an incredible future, but was also at risk of being consumed by the darkness of fame. Finally, the meeting happened. Diddy, the veteran of the industry, and Bieber, the boy just beginning to understand what he was getting into, came face to face. At a party full of celebrities and flashes, Diddy offered Justin a sort of mentorship. It was as if he was willing to show him the good and the bad of the path he was about to walk. Diddy even gave him a luxury car, a gesture that some saw as an act of affection and others as a warning. Welcome to a world that doesn't forgive. That meeting was more than just an introduction. It was an entry into the adult world of fame, one where excess and pressure are part of the package. Although at that moment he might not have fully understood it, time would show that this encounter would mark the line between the innocence of his childhood and the complex, dark world of success. When Justin Bieber was only 15 years old, Diddy invited him to a party at his Beverly Hills mansion. For most teenagers, such an event would have been a dream. But for Justin, it was the beginning of a series of events he could never have imagined. Amid the opulence and excess, Diddy began to mold Justin in a way no one could have foreseen. With every exclusive party he attended, Justin seemed to sink deeper into a spiral of chaos. The atmosphere seemed friendly and promising, full of laughter and shared dreams. But as the night progressed, the situation took a chilling turn. For Justin, that night would become a nightmare that would haunt him for years. Under the promise of making him the biggest teenage star, Diddy took advantage of Justin's vulnerability and youth, leaving a wound that the world would never see. Within those walls and under the dazzling party lights, Justin's innocence was taken in an instant. The Yummy music video contains layers of symbolism, where Bieber attempted to denounce abuses within the entertainment industry. In the video, Justin is seated at a table full of adults eating strange food, while he looks uncomfortable, a metaphor for the exploitation that he and other young stars have endured over the years. The imagery and messages in the video are a signal to expose certain powerful figures in the industry involved in shady activities. As Justin grew older, He tried to break free from Diddy's influence, but escaping someone so powerful, especially in an industry where favors and loyalties are bought, is no easy task. Every time Justin tried to take control of his career, Diddy seemed to be nearby, reminding him that he was the one who had opened the doors for him. Drugs. An escape from this nightmare. Justin's story and his relationship with drugs didn't start overnight. He was a young man trapped in a world of fame, money, and temptations, where everything was within reach, and nothing seemed to have real consequences. The constant pressure, the loneliness of being surrounded by people who only saw him as a goldmine, and the difficulty of dealing with public judgment led Justin to gradually seek escape in dark places. The first warning signs appeared when photos and accounts of wild parties began to circulate. These weren't the typical teenage parties. They were gatherings filled with excess, where drugs and alcohol flowed freely. Marijuana was his first refuge, a temporary relief for the stress and anxiety that suffocated him. But once he opened that door, control became an illusion. He got involved with stronger substances, spending nights abusing drugs like Xanax and lean, a mix of codeine syrup and soda, which became a dangerous routine. In interviews, those closest to him hinted that Justin lived in an emotional void, and that fame and money weren't enough to fill it. Some of his friends even commented anonymously that they feared for his life. The cost of fame. In exchange for fame, Justin paid an unimaginable price. Naive and full of hope, he didn't realize the cost of that opportunity. In the end, Justin Bieber's life is a sobering reminder of how fame and success can become a dangerous trap. What seemed like the perfect dream for a young prodigy ultimately revealed the dark side of the industry and the price it demands. The controversies, scandals, and legal troubles didn't arise out of nowhere. They were the symptoms of someone trapped in a world that demanded more and more, without offering any real way out. Constant pressure, bad influences, wild parties, and substance abuse became his only forms of escape forms that, instead of helping, only fed the emptiness he felt. This is a cautionary tale for everyone who dreams of fame. In an industry controlled by powerful figures like Diddy, those who seem like friends may be the ones who cause the most harm. And the price of fame can be far higher than anyone could imagine. Justin Bieber survived to tell his story, but others haven't been so lucky. If you want to know more about P. Diddy's case, we'll leave his true story right here. And you, are you willing to pay the price of success? Leave us your answer in the comments. Don't forget to follow us and activate the notification bell for more stories like this.